Hi YouTube, this is Mark from Abilities, and today I'm going to show you how I catheterize using this Hollister VaPro Plus Pocket closed system catheter with limited hand dexterity. So stay tuned. Alright, so first I want to start and talk about the reason why I have to catheterize with my spinal cord injury. And the reason is that when I caused the trauma to my neck up in that C5, C6 region, my neurological pathways, everything just kind of got screwed up. So the connection between the brain and the body is just not there in a lot of respects. So I ended up having what's called a neurogenic bladder as well as a neurogenic bowel. So basically I can't go to the bathroom on my own when I want to, and I have a tough time controlling that. So when you think about when you have an urgency to urinate, especially as a male, you will go to the bathroom and you're able to relax and the urine will flow out. Well, I don't have that function anymore. I do have a sensation that feels when my bladder is full, but I have to take medication. I mean, some people will do Botox, that kind of thing, but I have to take medication in order to get rid of the spasticity in my bladder, which causes me to want to void and basically pee myself. So I've gotten to a point now where if my bladder gets full, I know, okay, I need to go cath, and so I'll go do that. And so I wanted to show you the catheter that I use, which has been super helpful for me in terms of my independence and, just being able to minimize UTIs and live a full and independent life. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. All right, so when we're talking about catheterization, there are a number of products that are out there, different catheters, whether it's closed system, straight catheter, gel-based, hydrophilic. There's all kinds of different products. So finding the right one for you can take some time, but I want to talk to you about a couple different kinds that have a pretty distinct difference. Now here's a straight catheter. This is a catheter that is a hydrophilic. It has this little pouch right here that you break, and it puts in like a saline or liquid that activates the hydrophilic, the slipperiness of this catheter, so it'll go in. But the problem with this kind of catheter is you really need to be near a toilet. When I mean near a toilet, like really close, because once you put this in, there's not a whole lot of space for the urine to drain out, and that can be a problem. So this kind of catheter, a lot of people are going to carry around or use it at home with a urinal, or put an extender on there. We sell a product called the Uriluge, which gives you, a little like 14 additional inches to get in the toilet. But this is a little bit limited, but it is small packaging. So you can carry these in a bag or in a suitcase. You can carry a lot of them. So that's one of the upsides. But this is not what I typically use, but I wanted to show you a lot of people do have this, and unfortunately it could be due to restraints with insurance. A lot of times insurance won't cover the closed system and they'll cover this, but this has its drawbacks in terms of how you can be independent. All right, so I'll talk to you about the one that I use, and this is the VaPro Plus Pocket from Hollister. This is a closed system catheter, as well as it's a no-touch catheter, which is a big deal for someone like myself. I don't have fine hand dexterity movements, so because of that, there's a strong possibility that I could touch the catheter, like in this situation, contaminate it, and get a UTI, which is a urinary tract infection. That's a big no-no. That's something that is really debilitative. It's hard to deal with. They're not fun. So with an SCI, that can be prevalent in terms of if you're having to do this intermittent catheterization 7 times a day. It's very easy to get a UTI if you're not careful. So for someone like me that can't grab it and wants to do this on my own, having this type of catheter is huge. So I want to talk to you about this particular one. All right, so with the VaPro Plus Pocket catheter, I can pretty much use this anywhere because it is a closed system. You can see right now I'm not in my bathroom, I'm in my bedroom. And this is a place that I typically will actually catheterize. And that's because with our master bathroom, in the morning when I get up, one of the first things I do is I catheterize. My wife might need to be in there getting a shower, getting ready for the day. And so for me to sit in there and take up 8 to 10 minutes just because I'm near a toilet doesn't make sense when I can use this and it's concealed in a bag. I can set it to the side, and when she's out and done, then I can go drain it. So that's a really nice feature. But I want to show you how I would do this if I was getting ready to use it. So typically what I'm going to do is I will lock my chair first and get myself comfortable so that I can cath. I'll pull my legs out. Now typically I like to slide out of my chair. That way I have the ability to kind of pull my pants down a little bit, get comfortable so I have access to where I need to go. So what I'll do is I will get the belt loop here and undo top of the pants. Usually I'll have a zipper pull with me. That makes it a little easier, but in this sense I can actually do it that way. So I will go from side to side, kind of pull my pants down here. Notice I'm using my wrists on the sides of my chair for my balance. Yeah, pull them down that way. I won't pull them all the way down, but basically that's what I do is I'll get them to a point where I can get access, kind of pull mine over to the side and get access to where I'm going to insert the catheter. But let me show you the great thing about this deal. Okay, so first of all, with this packaging, you've got this little loop here, and you can just pull like that, and it's going to give you access to the catheter. Now, I have kind of a system which I just use my teeth a little bit. It's got this little wrapper. Pull that off. That's going to hold the catheter in place. Do this. All right, so that's that bag that I was talking about that is going to capture all the urine. And the nice thing is it's got a little handle to hold it. Okay, this is the best part about this catheter. This is completely encased in this plastic. So when you're inserting it, you can hold it any way you want, and you're not touching the catheter. You're not touching the part that's going in your body. Now the other thing, on the front of this catheter, you see this little tip. I pull it off. So the first, I want to say like, that's probably about 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit less. So if you know millimeters, that's probably like 12 or 13 millimeters. That goes into your distal urethra. So you're going to put that part directly in before you actually push the catheter in. So once that's in your urethra, then you can push the catheter through and out. And that gives you additional protection, right? You're inserting it before you actually push it through this casing. And once you do, you're just going to go ahead and, like I said, use whatever way possible to mash this in and get it into your urethra to the point where you can see the urine or feel it draining out into the bag. Now, once this thing's full, like I said, you can tie it off or you can just keep it like this. I will not even tie it off. I'll just keep it like this and I'll put it to the side, like either on the bed or on my nightstand. Wait till my wife comes out and I'll go ahead and dump it. And with this, all you really need to do, it's a little easier when there's weight in it. It kind of pulls everything out so you can access it, but I'll just show you. There's a little like tear here, and you just kind of open it a little bit more so you can get the urine out. There's also a loop at the bottom, which again, if it's heavy, it's more accessible. Right here, so that way, you know, if you have balance issues, you can kind of lean to one side and just boop, tip the urine into the toilet, and you're done. But this, I love this catheter. It's been huge for me. Because if I'm out and about, honestly, I use my van to catheterize. I don't even like going into public restrooms because either people are in the accessible stall or they have, you know, one of those single-use bathrooms, which it's like, oh, it's accessible, it's single-use. Well, the problem is that I have to lock the door and then wash my hands, do my thing, and that's like part of this whole process, and it's a pain in the butt. So, yeah, anyway. So one other thing I wanted to mention about the VaPro Plus Pocket is I just typically use this. I don't use anything else to kind of clean or sterilize the area, but you can buy these little BZK wipes because in this package there's no betadine or anything like that. But you can buy these off Amazon. It's just a little wipe. It's going to sterilize the area. So if you wanted to do that on top of using this, that's even more protection. But I can tell you honestly, I don't use these. I just use this, put the, you know, the front inserter tip into the distal urethra, push this through, and I have very few issues. All right, well, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have a different catheter that you use or a different system, you know, let us know in the comments. I want to know like what your process is, you know, to catheterize, whether it's at home or when you're on the go. What do you use? What's the best? Especially if you're someone like myself that struggles with hand dexterity. Let's, you know, share what kind of tips and tricks we use. But this is what I use, the VaPro. I love it. It's been great for me. But yeah, let me know if there's something else that you use. But thank you for joining me today. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, Let your friends and family know. We're going to continue to put out more content. Just going to keep sharing my life and talk about some of the products we're working on. So thank you again. Keep working hard towards your independence, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.